Welcome back to another video. Made 4.1k I think, or 4k on my FTMO account, and I'm going to be sharing with you today my strategy for that, a breakdown of the trade that I made 4k in today on Monday, which is pretty cool because Mondays are normally slow for me, and just go through all the trade ideas. So let's get to it. First and foremost, we basically always start off with the 30 minutes charts. The 30 minute charts always helps me understand the correlation with the markets. 1 hour or 4 hours is great, but I love to just use the 30 minutes. The 30 minutes market structure just speaks to me. The 30-minute candles just speak to me, and the 30-minute chart just overall is my favorite. So go and find out what works for you. Now on that basis, we have got 3 simple lines. Now these 3 simple lines, just let's make this a little bit bigger, is basically when we logged in at this time on Monday, this was a resistance and this was a price where we rejected, and this was a very strong price area, because look, price ended up smashing to this resistance with this huge bullish candle, and then the absolute most ugliest rejection after, right down after, to continue onto the downside. So it just goes to show that this level of resistance is a very key level for me to pay attention to. If I go left again, we can see we've got a huge wick, we've got another wick that comes into it. If I wanted to drag this all the way over as well, which I don't like to do because it starts to make my charts a little bit messy, we can see price come into this area time and time again. So that's the first step. We've now identified that this is an area where price is rejecting, price is showing that this is a potential resistance. Now what is the next movement? So the next step is simply, if this is a resistance, the next price that it could come to is this 15127. And the reason why I say 15127 is because number one, that is Tokyo low, and number two, price did actually come into this, test this regions multiple times in the past again. Now one massive tip to kind of go through is, when you draw supports and resistance, you can draw them at any given time. Like you can draw them literally all over the place, but the problem is you just don't know which one to trade off of. So you have to just make a decision and just be intuitive about your support and resistance. And I know that might not be the answer. It should be, maybe you should say this, that, and the other, but really and truly it's down to intuition for me. And also, I guess the real tip is, the price that wicks to this area the most is a key level that I want to pay attention to the most as well. And on top of that, if price has basically tested this multiple times, this is also one as well. So say I have 3 levels. If there is one level that is tested 5 times, one level is tested once, and then another level is tested 3 times or 4 times, the one that's only been tested once, I'm just going to remove. There isn't proof in the pudding, there's no proof of concept, it's not enough, and that also can make me make a bad decision of closing a trade or not even getting in a trade because I had this key level in. Moving on from that, the 30 minutes has now been explained and understood. So from that level, we had a rejection this morning, we had a continuation, then we had a pre-New York session. So now what we do is we go on for the 30 minutes, we basically go through the story time. Now on the story time, I actually like to understand the overall market conditions, and I kind of tell myself a little bit of a story. So what we start off is at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. actually, let's start off with 8 a.m. We had a massive flash wick down to this support area. Now this wick to the support area yet again gives us a confirmation, because if we look to the left hand side, that was a Tokyo low on Friday's trading day. Now that is another support, and that's just created another support from there. From 9 o'clock we failed to have that continuation, and then what we also had at 9:30 was we had a pullback and then pushed all the way onto the upside. From there, between 10:30 we had another change of time zone, and then this ended up pushing price back down. When price pushed back down, this comes into my area which we just identified a moment ago, showing as a resistance. A lovely wick to the candle, and then another wick from there. Now we've come down to the Tokyo low. This is where my attention comes. Now I got quite lucky with this, and the reason I got quite lucky with this is because I actually came into the market just at this point in time, and I was like, oh, this looks like a great trade. And because it looks like a great trade, I didn't even hesitate to enter, because the setup was great and the idea was great and the movement and momentum was great and the timing was great as well. So there was already 3 things that was telling me to take this trade. That's without even the entry and even the market conditions. So now let's move from the 30 minute and let's now go on to the 10 minute. So onto the 10-minute chart, what we can see is we had a great rejection onto the upside. Now the rejection onto the upside has basically proven that that resistance is holding strong, and that we can have a retest on this 15083, which is what we're looking for. Now that retest down there is what I'm ultimately trying to aim for price point A to B. And that's what we literally explained from our strategy. We're looking for price A to B and then just try and catch meat in the middle. Now, what I ended up doing then from then is going from 10 minutes down to the 3 minutes. But before we go on to the 3 minutes, it's just to quickly see we had a pattern A here, which I missed the entry for, but I generally did think there was enough volume to move all the way down to test the 1503. So what I did was going on to the 3 minutes, so let's just widen this up and then make this bigger so you can see very clearly. This is what I'm trading through at the moment. And the reason why I'm trading through 3 minutes at the moment is it just gives so much more faster paced decisions. I'm in and out of a trade a lot quicker, and I'm able to make these greater trades as an overall. So I missed the entry here, which would have been the best entry at 15.51. But what I wanted to do is basically I had a continuation from 12 o'clock. Now this is a very, very late pattern A, but the reason I did this was because this was a combination of the 30 minutes, this was a combination of the timing, this was a combination of the liquidity, and this was a combination of a breakout off of the Tokyo low. So from this, I ended up having a continuation trade. We already had the pattern A, which had happened move earlier, so that's already confirmed. I'm late to the pattern A moving forward, but there is still that 1 to 2 trade on the table for me to take. So that's the reason I took into this trade. I rarely take these late entries, but the trade was way too good to leave on the table, and that's why I ended up taking this trade. So just a final simple recap was on the left hand side on the 30 minutes, we look from point A to point B. We have our key levels. Then on 10 minutes, we look for our pattern A and then look for the overall momentum and see if the trade actually makes sense, if there's a confirmation. So there was a pattern A here at 11.40. We had a continuation, broke this Tokyo low and this key level. And then on 3 minutes, this trade was telling me to hold and hold and hold, because on the pattern A as the overall Heikinashis, this was red and red and red. So I was able to have this trade. We had a great pullback, gave me plenty of entries from there. And then this is what my daily report card looks like today. So nice easy drop onto the downside, 30 minutes rejected, and there was pre-New York momentum and London after the London mess, because London really was a mess. It was just up and then down. The session analysis gave the trade room. I let it continue and the 30-minute hammer happened. There was pattern A. It was one of the best setups, to be honest, but just let the trade run and move overall and closed and secured profit. So it was very, very important. And what I meant by that was I secured my profits early on. I didn't let the trade run to, because I generally believe this could have melted, but I just secured my profits, ate for the day and moved on. Didn't get greedy, didn't get fearful, just did everything right. The trade analysis, there was a pattern A continuation, there was a 30-minute continuation and a breakout. It was point A to point B. There was very simple trade. Zones are respected overall, and then the trade won on the outcome. So the trade won on the outcome. It was nicely closed off. Could have went further, but it doesn't matter. A good mindset on securing the trades. Post-market analysis, it was continuation, fell from point A to point B. Really, really, really simple. So from there, we can see the C trader trades from there. So it adds up to 4.1K. And then this is my edge wonk from there. So that's how I made 4K in one day, like a full breakdown, trade breakdown, strategy breakdown, and everything from there. So if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to like, share and subscribe. If you do want to check out our courses and whatnot, there is a program and there's the course if you want to go and learn and earn and join us for the accountability to make sure you take your trading serious. So see you in the next video. Champ out. Peace.